I invited Fanya to join our call because of the alignment that her company has with Z Prime. Our first core value is to be kind, and Fanya's company's slogan or motto is brewing kindness. And obviously, the work that she's doing to educate youth around mental illness and autism, and just basically anything that makes us feel other or different, is an act of inclusion. The work that she's doing toward inclusivity.
Thank you, Emma. Nice little introduction. I just need to have you like by my side every day. Um, I was in the medical field and worked my way up for 15 years, and I was doing very well for myself. When I got married, I had twins, and so I decided I took a year off, and then I went back into the industry. And I remember when I put my kids in preschool, I was very aware of who was taking my kids, and as all parents are. And I was probably especially more so because my son was diagnosed with autism at 3. And so I was very like, probably annoying to some of those teachers. But so long story short, my son, autism is different in every child, but my son has trouble with articulating, whether it's stories, conversation, things that happened. And so he was incredibly vulnerable, I think, to just about anything, because if something happened to him, would he be able to tell me, right? So I always put his twin sister, Dina, in the same class so she could be the voice if he couldn't articulate. And it's been like that ever since. And they're 8 now. And, public schools like, do you want to separate? And I always say no, So one day they were at a preschool, and at recess, David came home, and in the middle of the night, he was fine during the day. And then in the middle of the night, he like woke up and he's like, head hurt. And this was when he was 4. And so he could not do sentences. I mean, it took years of therapy for him to now kind of do sentences. And so I'm like, Dina, what's going on? What happened? And she's like, oh, he was pushed down at recess on the playground and kicked in the head. And I said, but why? And why didn't I hear about this? What's going on? And he used to wear a weighted vest to kind of calm him down because he had sensory issues too. And an older classman that had the same recess time pushed him and kicked him in the head, calling him weird because he had that vest on. And as a mother, now I can talk about it without being emotional because I'm on a mission. But before, I went in this depression secretly. Like how do I deal with being a mother and having a child with special needs, and I can't protect him? I can't be everywhere. And so I was spreading myself thin with trying to find better solutions and what to do, and talking to the school and what can we, and I realized even though schools say they have a bullying program, they don't. I never was contacted by email. And this is not the first time. It kept happening. He'd come home with bruises and all these mysterious things. And I'm like, how am I not being notified? Because they say they have this bullying program and to be kind. But when kids are at a young age, do they truly know what those words mean? What does that look like? Kids are visual, right? That's why we have books that are all pictures at a young age, right? They need to know real situation that they could actually be in to recognize what that looks like. What does kindness mean? What does inclusivity mean? And so I quit my job and I started a coffee company, and 50% of the proceeds goes to mental health awareness and anti-bullying curriculum. And what that means is every year. It's not a one assembly year. It's not 1 week. It is every day there is an exercise, whether it's writing in a journal, teaching kids scenarios, role playing of how they could react or stand up for someone or to speak up if they don't feel right, if they feel sad all the time. For people that I have talked to that give me a little bit of blowback, well, boys will be boys, or everyone gets bullied in life. Toughen up, have them fight back. But I'm not playing into that. That is old school to me. No, it is not acceptable, because when we look at our streets today, whether it's a political, whatever, there are adults that obviously need help. Whether they're angry, where there's mass shootings because they have mental illness, depression, they're frustrated, they're angry, they have all this pent up, whether it's from childhood trauma or adult trauma, they're not getting the therapies they need. And so they're acting out or projecting. And so when we look at our world today and we wonder, how did this school shooting happen? Well, if you take a look at it, the investigations of those school shootings with children, yes. Do we need better gun laws? Yes. But ultimately, if someone wants to commit suicide, they will find a way. Or if they want to do a shooting, they will find a way. They will steal a gun. They will break laws. Okay. It is mental health. They need to be educated at a young age. If they feel that something's wrong, they need to not have this stigma and say, you know what, I'm not right. I think I need to see a doctor. We need to break that and talk about it. And through education is the key. Education is the key to break the stigma and to change the landscape of our culture.